Put simply, most, if not all, little kids value candy highly, not a salad. Which is of higher quality, though, especially if one had to pick. I think to save your life. Actually, literally to save your life. What about a Lamborghini or Ferrari versus a Mazda or Toyota? Which is highly valued versus high quality? Well, put it to you like this. I've never heard of Mazda or Toyota having a recall because the heads of the bolts that held the car together would pop off. And yes, actually, people, that was an actual recall of either Lamborghini or Ferrari with one of their cars some time back. I think it was around 2005 to 2010 time frame. That was actually a recall. I remember reading it on some official car thing. Like what would it be called? Like a well, not car channel, but a car website or car. Like not like Auto Trader. I mean, that's not where I read it, but you get what I mean. Like things that a medium that talks about cars, much like PC Mag talks about technology, or you get what I'm saying. It was some outlet, car media outlet. It's quite funny. I dare say society from the 60s till now shows the societal effect of picking what is highly valued versus what is of high quality, right? Irrespective of whether that quality is actually valued to people or not. So then, what constitutes a high quality man? Well, I'll give a few things that should be universal to everyone, but I'm not about to sit here and say that it's set in stone, right? Overall theme is, can you survive alone? Can you survive alone outside the city, in nature, be it the beach, the mountain, the woods, etc.? Now, of course, literally is good, great even, right? But I mean more metaphorically, metaphorically. If you can literally do it, awesome, but that's not, if it comes down to that, then metaphorically, obviously, right? Who are the ones that actually make the world run? The mechanical engineer, plumber, auto mechanic, IT pro? Or the investment banker, regional manager, HR director, or government official? One realm still affords us the creature comforts we enjoy, rain or shine. The other realm caused the '08 crash. If you have no money to pay an auto mechanic, or you have the money but you can't find one, or more commonly, one that knows how to properly work on your car. Rotary engines, I'm looking at you. Can you fix it yourself? Now, obviously, no one can do everything, especially with high quality themselves. I'm not telling anyone that they need to be able to rebuild a W16 engine themselves. Adam Smith was right about the whole division of labor thing, and I guess labor and specialization. All right, fine. However, in certain areas of life, basics of life even, irrespective of how much money you make, are there certain things that you pay for, not because you can't be bothered and would make more money paying someone else to do it versus how much you save doing it yourself? Or do you pay because you have no idea how to do it yourself to save your life? And if you, or for whatever reason, can't get someone else to do it, you're ace hole out. Example, brakes, rotors, oil change, head or tail light bulb, valve cover gasket, etc. Now, of course, I'm using cars because that seems to be the one that everybody can relate to. But this could be housing stuff. This could be, a lot of different things. Okay. To put it as simple as possible, if the first world you live in became a third world, fourth world, or fifth world Weimar Banana Republic, at the snap of some Thanos fingers, could you survive, or would you not be able to do without your high-value life so much that you would find the highest skyscraper and clear the highest railing of the roof, pole vault style? All right. So then, what are some basics that you can branch off of? Of course, I'm just picking a few tiny amounts, not even all the basics. Uh-oh, who was that? Oh, phone is right here. Who was that? Who is this? Let us put this on silent. Effing Facebook. Recommending all these people that I don't know and don't care. Silent. In one realm of life, what are the most expensive things mortal humans deal with? That they're as far as I can tell, most expensive things. That they're biological and mental. Keep that in mind for later. Health, housing, automobiles, and computer technology. Okay, specifically the maintenance of those listed. So let's get started. For biological health, simply eat a plant-based, not vegan, plant-based, say it with me now, based, not vegan, raw food diet, or as close to it as possible. Exercise, meaning lift consequential weights for you. You know, I can bench 345s on each side without warming up. Shouldn't do that, but I can do that even right now. You might not be able to do that. Consequential weights for you. Consequential weights, light cardio. I need to work on that. I don't know why I stopped. I just stopped, but I need to work on that part. Obviously, basic home training, hygiene as far as showering, brushing your teeth with a mechanical toothbrush or electronic toothbrush, not a manual. Who still has a manual brush they're using for their teeth? I remember when Sonicare came out in the 90s. And that thing was expensive. Now you can pick one up brand new, especially the older style, which still works. I have the older style, the original style, with the not original style head, but the original style body. You can pick that up for 30 to 50 bucks. And that's before the kind of coupons. No reason why anybody shouldn't have an electronic toothbrush at this stage, this late stage in the day. Game time, 11th hour, whatever you want to call it, etc. Doing these alone will stave off the bodily problems, especially with age, that would cost you consequential medical bills in the catch-all term of preventable illness and disease. Preventable illness, preventable diseases, right? Show me somebody that's been doing all of this, but still suffers from, like, I don't know, obesity or diabetes or something like that, right? Especially if they're strict with the diet, most of all, much less the exercise, strict with the diet, like nothing but vegetables, meats, and maybe a little bit of fruits. And the fruits, you still have the roughage in them to help block off some of that sugar absorption. Right? Yeah, moving right along. It's also my belief that if this is done throughout the generations, humans can remove the genetic defects that come out of left field and belly-to-back suplex your health. I think cancer and birth defects and all that. I believe the Native Americans thought this as well. What I do with my body and what I eat and what I consume will affect your great-grandchildren. So there might be some truth to that. Is there any scientific? I don't know. Did they bother to look? It's really just sit here and say, oh, there's no scientific peer-reviewed journal entry, whatever, when nobody decided to look. Maybe if they looked, they would have found it. I'm not about to sit here and wait for science to catch up. There's certain things you can figure out irrespective of science. Moving right along. As far as housing, learn how to do maintenance around the house. Leaking shower faucet, hole in the wall, electrical wiring needs done. Obviously, be careful with that one. The amount of money one can save doing things, and keep this whole saving money and all that stuff in mind for later. The amount of money one can save doing it themselves versus calling a plumber or electrician or carpenter only to feel like they're getting ripped off because they don't realize that said tradesman needs to make your simple wax-on, wax-off job that you were too above doing yourself worth your time and labor is huge. It's way above average. I gotta stop. I shouldn't have to explain to anyone with an IQ of 0 or above the amount of money saved doing auto repairs yourself versus taking it to an independent shop, much less the dealership. Dealership. I didn't even write dealership. I didn't even write dealership. How did that? Okay. Okay. So I'll move on. As far as computer technology, walk into any Geek Squad and ask them how much it's going to cost. And Geek Squad, I know this, and try and sue me if you want. I used to work for you guys. I used to work for the big three as far as technology. CompUSA when they were here, then Geek Squad, then Micro Center. So, and really Micro Center is actually at the top as far as brick and mortar. And CompUSA obviously isn't here anymore. Geek Squad. So, yeah, I know how you all work. I used to work for you guys, so get off me. Get off my nuts. Technology, walking into Geek Squad and ask them how much it's going to cost them to back up your precious data since you can't select all, copy, and paste to a $20 256 gig flash drive from Micro Center yourself. Yes, I believe yes, it's a Micro Center brand, or their house brand made by some people in Taiwan, yes. 256 gigs, and it is usually 20 to 23 bucks. Every now and then they have sales and it's even less. So, and yes, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but if you're doing mainly backup or archival, actually, if I'm doing archival of valuable consequential data, I wouldn't use them. But if you just need something for storage of certain things, most things, they're fine. My point is, even if you have Illuminati levels of cash and don't need to concern yourself with the basics of life, you never know when life will blindside you with a dropkick and you fall from the pedestal in the heavens, if you know what I mean. Fact of the matter is, that since 90% of society will never get to, much less stay in, the top 10%, it's instead 90%'s best interest to learn these basics anyway. If you're not currently in a position to where you don't have to lift a finger in work for the rest of your life, you need to do what I am telling you here. God knows I'm nowhere near that position in life. However, I at least see it. What I just said is one area of life. An example of another area that constitutes being a high-quality man, or woman, but this video is men since high-quality man. Nobody's really talking about high-quality women as much, although that's starting to pop up, but no, I'm speaking to men here, although ladies, this applies to mortal humans, so it can apply to you as well if you care. Quality man or woman, and also in the world of money, is the offense of spending money as opposed to the defense of saving money. Case in point, minimalism. One of the greatest things in the world. Not going to get into exhaustive detail here, but with minimalism, not only do you control what you spend, But because you're a sniper with your spending as opposed to a machine gun or carpet bombing, you are able to at least double your striking power in terms of the high quality items you have in your life. Right? Here's an example of a combo of just two of the areas of being a high quality person that I've talked about. Okay, so let's follow along with this, right? You're a minimalist. You make money. Homeless people are minimalist too, to say the least. Except for those hoarders that seem to stay with me here. You get what I'm saying here, right? You're a minimalist. You make money, however you make money, and save more than you spend. Okay. Since you don't care what people think about you, which is also quite huge, and probably goes against the high value dynamic, by and large, since you don't care about what people think about you, by and large, not as an absolute whole, you know, but by and large, you aren't getting a brand new car for God only knows how much. You decide to get a BMW, used, and pay cash for it one shot. Bad, right? Well, normally, yes. Normally, yes. Okay? But in this case, no. Why? Follow along. Because you know how to do basic maintenance on cars. And obviously this is assuming that that thing is not like needing an engine, needing a transmission, has mad electrical or computer related issues, right? It's okay. Let's no rust, not flood damage, no salvage. Just don't be dumb. You know, you get what I'm saying here. So let's not. Well, what about? Why? Because you know how to do basic maintenance on cars. Remember? You don't need to take it to a dealership or anyone else to change the brakes or install new tires or anything else. Obviously, okay, you're going to do flushes, you're going to send that to. I mean, hell, I don't do the flushes in my car myself. So there's that, you know, there's certain things. Now you have a nice looking car. God forbid you get a high quality paint job done. All right. High quality is, if I'm not mistaken, is $1,000 or more. $500 paint jobs? I have not exactly heard good things about that, especially as far as longevity goes. Although everything looks good brand new as far as longevity goes. Paint job done. You look and feel like you've arrived. Just as anyone else when they get a luxury car. Because if you don't feel that after you just went and bought a brand new luxury car, you just spend that money and you don't even get the feeling. Which is really all this is, the feeling. Well, hey, all right, moving right along. The best part is, unlike the people that may think you're posing or not really from their echelon, the fact is you're superior to them. How? Simple. Not only do you have the effects and utility of luxury and the high class without the thorns that come from slaving away for decades to get the same thing, right? But no one can say that a man that did what you just did, bought used, owned free and clear, not leased or financed, fixed up with your bare hands, and now it runs excellent. No one can say you did not earn it. And that's the point. That is the point. You earned it. Right? You didn't take it out on credit. You didn't have to mortgage your house. You didn't have to do a CDO swap or some crap or make money immorally, if not illegally. You earned it. Absolutely. Right? No one can take that from you, right? You, O man of Spartan means, earn the right to drive that luxury car, or any car. It doesn't have to be a luxury car. It could be you get yourself a base, just any car, any random car, right? Just pick one. But the logic is still the same. The dynamic is still the same. or any car, that luxury car or any car of your choice. After going through all of that, far more than the investment banker that helped kneecap the global economy back in '08. All right? If you can fix up that Maserati and it looks great versus the investment banker who has that Maserati and has a whole bunch of dead bodies and dead economies and dead companies in his, God forbid, herd wake. Yeah. Here's another great thing. That was only a combo involving two aspects in one area of being a high quality man, right? That same dynamic can be applied to other areas. Say housing. Do you get a McMansion and slave away for several decades with, above all else, just mortgage if one thing? Or, I mean, hell, are those McMansions even mortgaged? Do they even do mortgages with McMansions, or do you have to? Well, no, they do, because those things get repossessed like hell. I kind of figured at a certain point, it's like, no, if you're not buying this one shot cash, you can't afford it. I don't care what company you're the middle manager or upper manager of. I kind of figured at a certain point that's the case, but with the amount of foreclosures on those McMansions, yeah, mortgage. Huh. Interesting. Do you get a McMansion and slave away for several decades, or do you once again buy used, within reason, right? No termites here, right? Okay, we're not doing fixer upper shows here. Not like that. Do you get a McMansion slave with or do you buy used? Fix up yourself with some trips to Harbor Freight and Home Depot. Y'all owe me a check for that, by the way. And now you have your mansion plus your luxury car, all of which you know how to maintain yourself. And for the jobs that are too much for you, well, you're a minimalist, remember? So you have money in the bank to throw at whatever major problems the few times they show up. And they will be few in number, if any, due to the clockwork maintenance that you do. Personal example for me. I know this from personal experience with my 2012 Mazda 6. Again, told you humble means. I don't know. Humble means that I bought used at 41,000 thousand miles. Did over 3.5 years of Uber with it in DC, and anybody who knows DC, their roads are absolute BS, short of Baltimore streets. Racked up 120,000 odd thousand miles in that time frame, 3.5 years, 3.5 plus years, 120 plus thousand miles, X odd thousand miles, with zero problems and zero major repairs, apart from the spider webs that keep forming. But from what Mazda forums say, that's just some, I don't know what it is, maybe it's the paint or something that they use, but new or old, Mazdas attract spiders and spider webs for some weird reason. I don't know what the hell. Whew. And yes, as I gotta drive this home to people, buying used is within reason. Example: don't get a car that has any frame damage, rust, flood, electrical problems, and then think about how you're gonna fix it up. Talk about how you're gonna do all this fixing up or restoration. Fixing up. If you have to restore the car, no, right? If it's figure it out. Moving right along. Don't get a house with mad termites and code violations. Like, just figure it out. Don't be a dumbass about it. Oh, F you, YouTube. F you, YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm remembering an old school thing between the Dragonaut, I believe it was, and this one other guy. And they were going back and forward, and he said, Jedi, get your stack, Jedi. Thank you, YouTube. Let's go play with my friends, Jedi. Mother effer, stroke of the year. I'm sorry, it's just Me reminiscing, sorry. This has nothing to do with this. Sorry for that little tangent. Moved right along. Last example before moving on. Clothing. You want high quality clothes to go with your high quality house and your high quality car. That cost you not high quality money. Okay. High quality clothes, you want high quality, high class without the price tag, since you know it's made in the same Chinese sweatshops as the stuff at Walmart. Simple. And I love this. Outlets. Outlets. High quality lasts longer, or should. Should. All things being more or less equal. You aren't trying to impress anyone but yourself. That's very important. You want that car because you want it, not because of whatever status it gives you. Okay? And if you really need a high quality, say for example, or high luxury car to impress people or for business related things, rent it. Rent it, maybe change the license plate cover from Avis or Hertz or Enterprise, whatever. Rent it. Rent it. Don't get your stuff. Figure it out. Figure it out. IQ of 0 or above. Figure it out. Shouldn't have to even explain that out. But yourself, there's nothing wrong with getting some high quality, brand new, not even used, brand new, name brand. Ooh, ooh, not store brand. Although there's nothing wrong with store brand as far as like items, right? Y'all owe me a check for this, by the way. Costco water, not, I don't know, Deer Park or something. Just name brand clothes and accessories, $4 for dollar menu prices, as opposed to the Bugatti prices. The exact same thing was when it was in season. High quality things, A, are timeless, or at least B, can last more than a season. So you know what? This thing was $1,000. Oh, but it's last season. Oh my god, it's last season. Oh my god, so it is now only $50. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll take it. Still brand new. I don't want this 2015 car with 0 miles fresh from the factory. Right? Because even though I'm only paying $5,000 for it, because it's from 5 years ago, even though it is a brand new factory fresh shrink wrapped. Okay. I'll take it. And probably sell it because I probably can't fit in it, but I'll take it. Moving right along. What about mental health? You did say, you didn't say anything about that like you did all the others, you may ask. Yeah, about that.